Hello, hello. I am live and I look forward to this video session with all of you and always to the comments too that will come. Uh, I decided to choose this topic today out of love for all of you. And it is to provide you with some clarity on this journey because I know how um, challenging it can feel when you're looking at your twin who appears to be running from you, like it looks like that, right? And you're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to think. I just simply want to give up, and so on. So tonight's topic is really a is an opportunity that I've chosen to explain some of my experiences with the universe. And as many of you know, I was one who had an intense fear of rejection. And, fear of rejection is the way fear of rejection is on this journey. It's so unfair. Fear of rejection is so unfair. And if you have fear of rejection, you would know. Your twin does too. Okay. This is a journey of the unknown. It's a journey where everything is happening and you don't know what is really going on. Your intuition's talking to you, it's telling you things, you feel things. Perhaps you're a clairaudient, like I am. I hear things all the time. You're clear sentient. Okay, if I'm getting this right. You feel things and so on. It's telling you, your soul is telling you things. Hi, Jan. Oh, you're welcome. But your mind wants to tell you something else. Your ego, that is, to be specific, tells you something different than what you know intuitively. And because most of your life you've spent it listening to your thoughts, your mind and so on, your intuition comes into play because your intuition is a very big part of this journey and you have a hard time trusting it. The mind doesn't want to believe it, it doesn't want to let it go, what it believes, right? Because the ego comes in very strong. The ego is like, I can't see it. I need to see it in order to feel safe. It needs to look a certain way in order for me to trust this and things like those. Whereas your intuition comes in like a whisper. Maybe it comes in loudly for you. I know for me, it knocked me knocked me inside, right? It totally knocked me inside. And I had no choice but to listen. Eventually say, you know what? I give up. I'm just gonna really listen to this. And hi, Kamari. Thanks for hopping on. Oh, it's Kara. Okay, hi, Kara. And so, your intuition whispers, but what it tells you is what's necessary for this journey. It tells you what's going on with your person. Like when you stay still and you really listen, you can find out what's happening. You can feel what your twin flames going through. You can feel their emotions. The universe tells you things. Your intuition is where everything lies, right? But it's so hard to believe it. I get it. It's so hard to believe it. Believe it. Work on believing it and work on healing. I am going to express just how truly powerful you are in creating the reality that you want when it comes to this connection. You, not that person, you, because that person is you. Okay. And there, your twin shows you your thoughts and your energy. That's about it. Your thoughts and your energy. I put it in this term to try to simplify it to you. I'm sharing these things with you because I know a part of you is like, Sheen, I just want to give up. I don't want to do this twin flame thing. I want my twin flame to go somewhere else and all this kind of stuff. I've been there too. The fear of rejection, like they're just going to reject me again, even though it wasn't the case, because a lot of times it's not the case. And all this, and I told the universe to F off. Go somewhere else. Leave me alone. I'm not sure. You chose all kinds of stuff. I'm not even going to revisit it. I've been past all of that. Okay. When I realized that I simply was just not winning with the universe. And so this is what I'm going to share with you what happens so you can believe that you are not alone on this journey. I know it feels like you're trying to figure things out and all this kind of stuff. You don't have to figure it out when it comes to this person. Just figure it out for you. For you. Okay? Because I'll explain why. So, how the universe guides the twin who appears to be running when in reality it's energy and thoughts. But this particular twin is not going to look at it that way. It's probably not going to be like, oh, we'll call you up and say, hey, can you watch your energy and your thoughts? Because I'm affected by it. It's unless they're aware what's going on. And they will speak up on it when they notice the push energy. Because the push energy is real, guys. I like to call it the come back to me energy, but I'm using terminology that you understand. I call it the come back to me energy because when you're focused on your twin and they appear to be distant, looks like they don't know how to be around you and how to communicate, and they feel comfortable with everybody else but you and things like that, there is a chance that your energy is more on this person than you realize. This is not twin flame related. This has been like this in connection. Whenever you're more focused on someone and you're worried and you're wondering what are they doing, all this kind of stuff, the energy feels like a lot. So in a twin flame connection, this is what was happening with me. And I'm sharing my experiences on this, being on the other side of that energy. And I thought it was me. And I was out here teaching twin flames and everything. I was like, you gotta do all of this stuff, and then had a huge struggle with it on my own because I thought it was something that I could fix, that I could do. And I didn't realize what I was experiencing at the time was a push energy. So, how this works is that your twin, at the time that you felt like you found the one, so did your twin. You both felt it. You found the one. Now, fear kicked in because at a point, fear comes in, and maybe I'm not lovable, I'm not good enough, maybe they'll like someone else. And it sends off this energy that says, go away from me. You don't realize that's what was happening. And, I'm not blaming you, I'm providing with information. The call got into somebody was calling. I would put it on do not. All right, let me see if I can do this without cutting us out. I don't know because I'm on a cell phone right now. Um, hold on. Uh, I try to have this going without interruption. Let me try to figure out this. Do not. The phone was upgraded and everything. I have no idea where everything is. All right, I apologize for this experience again. I think you guys can still see me. And okay, so all right, this energy gets when there is a feeling of I'm not good enough, I don't think they would want me, the negative thinking. When there are negative thoughts involved and your energy feels at a really low when it comes to the experiences that you have in life, not just twin flame related, right? Couple of things are happening in a twin flame situation. One, your twin flame mirrors your thoughts. So when you're like, I'm not good enough, I don't know if they would really want me, so is your twin flame. Same thing. It's all you. Okay. So they pick up on this thought as if it's their own. They're not going to tell you, oh, like I said, they're not going to say, stop those. They're going to be like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm good enough for this person. I'm not really feeling it. Your thoughts guide your twin flame in what to do because they show you your thoughts. Okay. The second thing, the law of manifestation. The universe follows your energy wherever it goes. If your energy is mostly on negative thinking, the fear, as you might know, fear-based energy, you're focused on having the fear that you have in this connection, the universe must honor what you're afraid of. Okay. Has it ever happened to you that you're like, I'm afraid of losing this person? I'm afraid of losing my job. I'm afraid of losing. And what happened? The things you were afraid of, my past, I'm afraid of them cheating on me and things like that, right? Not my twin, previous connections. The things you were afraid of presented themselves, because this is how the law of manifestation works. Is whatever you're telling it, whatever you're telling the universe, I'm afraid they're not going to talk to me, they're not going to answer the phone, they're not going to show up, they're not going to. Now you might be like, 𝐾𝐨𝐮, but I wasn't afraid or anything. There's more, but we're not talking about that in this video. There are the limiting beliefs that you have learned about connection that your twin flame is showing you. So when it comes to the mirror, it's not a one thing. It's a multitude of things. Okay. And when you work on healing that, because your twins, your subconscious, you work on it in the subconscious mind, your twin stops showing it to you. All right. So I'm going to get back to what this video is about, the push energy. Many of you are like, does my twin flame knows? Yes, they do. And since this is my experience, I was teaching this. Okay. I share it to help you. You may pass all kinds of judgment on me. I'm being truthful with you. Took me a while to understand what was happening with me. I figured it out for everybody else. And like many of you, it's like many psychics too. They have the reading done for everybody, but when it comes to the self, it's like, I don't know how to believe it. Terrified. I'm afraid. Happens to a lot of psychics, right? So at the time I was feeling that way. So I knew, and the spirits were like, choose your twin. And I was like, I have no idea how. I didn't know how to do that, right? And so in trying to choose it, it felt like, well, actually at the time I was with a karmic soulmate. So then I'm trying to let this connection go. Universe is like, you need to do this, 𝐾𝐶. So I'm like, all right, which is, by the way, what the universe does and is doing with your twin flame. This is number one. So I'm letting you know you're not alone. When the universe came for me, I say came for me, it was in the biggest way possible. Like I'm talking about dark night of the soul. I kid you not. Okay, so the first time the universe came in, they were like, you're the one rejecting this. You need to go back. You need to let this person go and go back to your twin. I was like, I don't think so. Okay, because all the only memory I had was that I was rejected. And it hurt, it was painful, and I was not trying to go back to that. And this is why I urge you, but it's all up to you to find forgiveness. Okay. Find forgiveness, because you and your twin at the time when you first met each other, you did not know. You didn't know. You were both coming together with the wounded version of yourselves hurting each other. But you didn't want to hurt each other, but you didn't know any other way to do connection. Who teaches connection? Many of us grew up with a household that didn't really support the idea of real connection between two people. There wasn't that demonstration of it. And you may have gotten away with some of this stuff with a soulmate connection, even though you both couldn't stand each other. But in a twin flame connection, it doesn't work that way. And the two of you come together with this different version of, your past. This was your past. But we hang on to the past. And we're like, I can't go through that again. What if it happens again? I don't know. Having those thoughts block your possibility of reunion. Okay. it blocks it because your twin is you and there's really no other way around it. Believe me, I tried. I was like, universe, can you cut me some slack? No, there's no other way around it. Okay. I recommend doing that, healing that. All right. And so it's like, this is my situation. Everyone's different. So I'm like, all right, universe. After I said, I don't think so, got had a half an hour fight in my head and got sent into a dark night of soul for 2 weeks. Then I was like, okay, universe is not playing. All right, I got it. So then I'm over here trying to let this other connection go because universe is not trying to play with me. And it felt like it felt like the hardest thing to do. And it was like it was like taking 2 steps forward and going back 3 steps, taking the 2 steps again, going back like a 2.5 steps. And it was the hardest struggle ever. I was like, I can't seem to let this connection go. Which, in translation, this is possibly you on the other side. Because I was on the other side of this energy that just kept me going towards that direction that was so hard to fight. This happens when you're like, they're not going to choose me. They're choosing someone else. They're with the karmic. They're with. It sends this energy like, there you go, manifest. And the twin struggles. When you look at your twin and you're like, why are they still with the karmic? Because there's a part of you that believes that they're still with the karmic and is manifesting. I just share this with you guys. Like I share it because I want you to bring your twin home. You're like, really? Is she? I don't know if I want to bring this person. Well, either that or let the universe come for you because I knew there was no other choice. There was no other way because of what I was shown. Okay. So the moment that energy, my twin got healing, I no longer felt it. It was the most liberating feeling ever. I share that with you because I want you to really understand how strong this energy is. Okay. Most liberating. And then after it's, because this is what happens with a running twin, right? Mirroring running, really. But all stories just seem to shape how this journey works. It's like puzzle pieces, right? Then for myself, I had to learn how to be in my body because when we experience trauma, there's a lot of outer body, there's a lot of disassociation that takes place. And you have this when you don't know what your feelings are. You don't know what you can't make solid choices. You can't think clearly on some situations. You're busy all the time. You're always working. All of this is a separation from your body. And so I had to learn how to be within, how to slow down, connect, and do all the other stuff. I was finally able to do all of that because there was no longer an energy that says, stay away. Because that's what that push energy says. It says stay away. And then you look at your twin and you're like, why are they away from me? Energy, everybody, energy. Okay. I will stress that energy. So once you remove this energy that comes from fear, that energy created by fear, your twin can hear themselves because it is not possible, at least to me. Maybe anyone else out there could assume something differently. It is not possible for your twin to say, I'm just gonna choose a different path. I'm not doing this twin flame thing for a really long time. All right. The universe comes, I say come. My words are always a bit kind of like, sometimes people are like, can't you just be like holy moly in your words? I'm like, I don't know how to. All I can do is be real. When the universe comes for you, comes for your twin, both. Okay. And so I can remember one of the things the universe did was, and you might have experienced this too. I've heard it from some people. The universe will provide you with images of the good time. So I remember hearing, you've got to, Isheen, you've got to choose reunion. You've got to choose your path. Remember the beautiful times. Okay. So I get these images and I'm like, at the time, I hadn't surrendered. I was crying, like, why are you doing this to me? Like, I do not hurt myself. I'm going to get rejected again, and you're throwing me in the fire. Like, I can't, that fire burns so hard. I can't go into that fire. And just feeling really scared and nervous and terrified. Like, if any of it, and some of you, I'm like interrupting myself. It's coming from the soul, guys. Some of you, the universe says, send your twin a message, reach out, do this, do that. And you're like, I can't do that. Mm-mm, nope. And the message comes through again. You're like, I can't seem to do that. And then it gets louder. And it's like, okay, never mind. I'll do it. So this was me at the time feeling like I'm being tossed into the fire. And I was like, universe, I don't hurt myself. I don't put myself in a situation where I'm going to get hurt. So why am I listening to this? And obviously, universe wins. Universe wins. So that's another way with the loud, the message that comes in louder and louder and is saying to take some sort of action. Okay. So there's that. And there was something that came and it left. Just, oh, what is it? Having, okay, I want to say having you and your person do something constantly. Okay. It was nonstop. Like, go here, go there, go, and all these different places and things like. So this is one of the ways as well. Um, I have to cleanse energy here and provide a shield. This is just how I roll when I'm delivering something very important and special. I'm providing protection for all here watching this video. Okay. And I hear clearance. Uh Trying to recall here. Oh, so-called separation. Okay. I'm gonna read the comments. Let me go back to I'll come back to this, what separation does to a running twin flame. Okay, so give me one moment here. Actually, you know what? I'll continue before I lose my thoughts. So I have that one. Um, Something else I came. All right, well, separation, what it does to a running twin flame. Okay, this particular person, because of ego, could look at the situation, could look at you and feel like perhaps you're all set. um Perhaps it's okay to go with that. Like, I guess where I'm going at with this is, your twin may want to come forward, but it feels like something's keeping them away, and they don't know how to explain it, don't know what it is, and that kind of stuff. But because the universe says this is the person for you, you need to go back. If this is happening to your twin, the universe stays quiet for a little bit. And because the universe says that, this sparks that interest in, okay, I have to choose my path. I got to choose this person. What do I need to do for this to happen? What is there for me to do? So you might be like, are they really getting guided? Oh, yes, they are. But this is where free will comes in. Okay. So then the universe says, you need to do this. In my case, you need to open up and experience more of connection. You've got to connect with the people in your life. You got to be more connected with yourself. Same type of guidance you would receive. The ego, or the Capricorn in me, I'll blame it on the Capricorn. Nah, but I'm working. I'm trying to do this business. I'm trying to get this business off its feet. And I've been trying for the last 20 years to figure out how to get out of the working environment, how to get move away from the matrix and be on my own. Like 20 years of this stuff trying to figure out. And so the universe is like, make time. And it's like, and where I'm getting at with this is this idea of I will. A week goes by. I will. Don't worry, I will. A month goes by. I will. 6 months later. This is free will. Okay, this is free will. Free will says my intuition tells me to do something, but I'm going to put it off. It says that I need to do something to experience my reunion. I need stuff out of the way because there's no way I can hurt my twin because it's not allowed by the universe. It's not going to happen. So something needs to be cleared, something needs to be removed out of the system, something got to go. And the particular twin flame is like, I got time to figure this out. I have time. One of the lessons with this is prioritizing your union. And I'm going to say it's a mirror. A lot of this is a mirror. So let's not point the finger, okay? Let's not point the finger and say it's just them. A lot of it is a mirror of what's going on within. And they're saying your mission, for example, if you're guided to, oh, the kids again. Oh boy. I don't know if you guys can hear it. You're guided to do something, to be of service. And I'm not saying that your reunion is dependent on it. I'm just saying if you feel like you need to be doing something to experience your reunion, prioritize it. Okay? That's what I had to learn to do. The universe was like some of you will call like a carrot stick dangling. You know, it feels that way. The universe is like, you want it, you want it. There's some stuff for you to do though. Now do it. And it had to become a priority. Okay, like super important. Some of you may be real independent and you're like, I don't really need to have anyone. I don't ask for help. I don't rely on anyone. You know, it's like you're a super person, which, you know, is not your fault. You know, a lot of this to me has a root. I was that person, like, I'm okay, I'm totally fine, and stuff like that. But then when you send off this energy, like, I'm okay, I got it taken care of, I'm all set, it's out of alignment with with connection, with allowing connection to take place and allowing yourself to feel connected with this person, and you're feeling connected and they're feeling connected with you. It just simply doesn't go hand in hand. And this is part of the universe too. Even when I always put money in there, when you're trying to manifest money but you're working a lot, it just doesn't work that way. Universe likes balance. And so you do what you got to do and come into a balance and be like, you know what? I am ready. I am ready to connect with myself and allow myself to experience connection rather than saying, I'm good. I'm okay. I don't need it. I don't need this person. I don't need anyone. Right? If you say those kind of stuff. So then there is, you know, I say, you know, the universe teaching connection, like you've got to respond to messages. I know, big thing on the journey, the twin flame doesn't respond to any text message. I'm going to have to tell you this, that it is not personal to you, most likely. Okay. If it is, it's the energy and the connection where they're just like, this is, I don't know what to do with this connection. Am I going to get rejected? Are we going to get hurt? Because we've been down this path before. I'm kind of scared of going through it again. They don't hear me. And this is a whole nother thing of connection that no hardly anybody teaches you, is how to hear someone, how to communicate, right? And so if communication was an issue, well, they don't hear anything I say and all this kind of stuff. This is a person who is likely emotionally unavailable, not just to you, but with others. Okay. And you might be like, well, I see them hang out with people. Emotionally unavailable people can still hang out with people and seem like they are emotionally available, even though they are not. So, like, a big part of them is like, I don't want to be here. I want to be at home under my blanket, cuddled. And, they're forcing me to go out. I have to be around people, and I really don't want to be around people and things like that. And so, where you might be like, they're not responding to me, it's likely they just don't respond to people and things like those, right? And so this was one of the ways, don't shoot the messenger. I care about you guys. I had a lot of healing to do, a lot of healing, a lot of learning, a lot of growing, and so on, which was a mirror, by the way. And so the universe was like, you've got to open yourself up to connection. When a message comes through, and I'm not talking about twin flame related, I had to learn how to do those things outside of the connection. A message comes in, you respond, right? A phone call comes in, and believe me, it wasn't that I would have to say it was with certain folks. Obviously, if it was my mother would be like, is she? And I'd be like, okay. But even, let me just tell you, it's not personal to you. And the universe steps in and is like, we got some work to do. You got to work on these things. This one is coming up. Oh, this one's a favorite of mine. And I'm going to let you know, you get to create this. Okay? You get to create this. So you've got to remember your magic, though. Before you can create, you got to remember how magical you are. What you want to experience, the universe creates it for you. Okay? And I'm going to tell you how in the biggest way. What you want to experience, I have to say it again, the universe creates it for you. You don't have to beg anybody. You don't have to go and ask for it. You don't have to do any of that, but just feel it from within, and the universe creates it. So, how does this happen? My experience, I remember hearing, you got to come correct. You've got to be all in. You can't leave again. You can't run. You can't, just all kinds of stuff. I just had to share this with you guys because after working with after being on this journey for a while and working with lots of twins, I'm like, you know what? My story is different. And so on, where the universe came to me with all this type of guidance, and you need to do this, this, and that. Yes, I was a very detached person, even though it looked like I was experiencing connection. And when I say detached, I meant detached from myself really, really bad. Ran away from myself really, really bad for most of my life. I'm being vulnerable with you guys and opening up and stuff. So it was a lot of work with the universe. It was a lot of work. But a lot of the things I heard, your twin's not going to tolerate this. This isn't acceptable. This is what he wants. And all this kind of stuff was the kind of guidance I was receiving. So I share it with all of you, and I work through this with my clients too, is that you've got to believe something deep within. And I'm not talking about from fear. Like, they if they do this to me, then I'm going to do this. No, none of that. That doesn't work. Even on a energetic level, that doesn't work. Okay? But what do you want to experience? What do you hold true for you? And you heal whatever pattern within you that's not aligned with it. Okay? Because there are some old beliefs up there. There are some old beliefs that's running the show that needs you to do something about it, so the new beliefs have somewhere to go, can show up in your reality. Okay? And the universe takes over. The universe does the rest. I really want you to know that it's not just you. You're not the only one here. And I'm here. You got to let God in. Let God into your connection and let go of making all these choices without God in it. And consulting with God and connecting with the universe, your inner guidance, and everything. You have a whole universe assisting you with this connection. Now, the rest of it is for you to heal why this so-called separation with yourself is happening. And there are services for it. I offer services. I'm not gonna be choosy. Honestly, I like my services. I think they're wonderful. And I'll put the link down below so you can register. And I do have a masterclass coming up next week, which I must mention. And I'll put the link for that as well, a 90-minute masterclass. Okay. There are services, there are things to assist you in healing that separation, why it appears to be separated. I'll just use that. I'm using that word today, the distance from yourself, I should say. You're healing those. All right, so here we go. Thank you, Danielle. Thank you for your videos and your guidance. We so desperately seek. I appreciate it. Hi, Asheen. My twin contacted me anonymously on LinkedIn all of last month, then text me, hey there, from a random number. I sent him a message on LinkedIn saying, I can feel your energy. All right, I like it. I like it. um, because you can. You're being honest, right? And yes, I'm struggling with forgiveness. Always have with anyone who I felt hurt me to the core. Forgiveness is a very, very hard thing to do. Um, I look at it this way. If people knew how to do something differently, they would have chosen to do it because of their trauma, their upbringing, the generational folks before them that passed on all these horrible beliefs from one generation to the next. Here they show up in connection knowing what they know and not really knowing anything else. And this could have been your parents as well, your grandparents, all of this. In a twin flame connection, while you're healing, so is your twin. You're growing, evolving, shifting, so is your twin. And usually when the twin returns in the picture, they want to move forward. They do. And this is where I see some couples struggle. And I'm not saying it's your fault. I truly believe there's some healing around there, okay? Because your inner child is feeling hurt in some kind of way because something is being repeated. Something just it feels like something keeps on repeating and now it's really hard to let it go. All right. Because when we hold on to the things, the experiences that we've had in the past, it shows up again and again and again. And it's one of the really hardest things in connection. I truly recommend you work on healing that. This is my suggestion. And hi, Crystal, and hi, Vibe Freak. You've arrived. Yay, you're here. And I love the emojis there too. All right. So I share these things with you. I feel like there's something else. Boy, the stuff oh, okay, this is coming to me. This is another big one. This is another big one. Boy, was I put through a lot. When I say I fully surrendered, I'm not kidding. I was like, I'm not going back to any of this. Okay. And so the universe has a way, maybe perhaps it's not the universe. Maybe it is. I don't know. I'll say that. They're saying not the universe. Okay. We have a path. Before incarnation, we have a journey. Our soul is here to do something. Okay. There's a goal, there's a plan, there's something in place. And when I say our soul, I mean you and your person, like one. It's you have a path. And so when this particular person is like, I'm not choosing that. I'm going a different route. Okay. The different route is not aligned. The path is aligned. When you're on your path and you're following your soul, you're letting it guide you into the unknown, take you to wherever it needs to go, your mission, your purpose, your whatever it is. You have no clue how it's going to unfold, but you keep on going. You are in alignment. You're choosing your twin flame. You're in alignment. They choose you aligned. Okay. Alignment. And perhaps it's a mirror where you may not fully choose. I had to turn the AC off so you guys can hear me. come back to my story. The many times I said to the universe, no, I don't want that path. That path is too hard. I can't see it. Forget it. Okay. And things just didn't seem to add up, to match up. It felt like life was just not unfolding. I cannot describe it to you. And this is what happens too. I hear divine masculines in the connection say that. You might be like, are you divine? We're not going to talk about all of that today. Perhaps, perhaps. All right. So I hear divine masculines when they come back, they're like, you know what? My life was just not like something wasn't adding up. I wasn't remembering things. Like my memory wasn't great. Something was just not until they um reunite, they come back to their divine feminine. And it's like, wow, everything just flows. There's alignment, there's peace, there's whatever it may be that their story is. Okay. So many this was happening to me. And I was like, universe, I'm gonna figure this out. Thinking I can win, right? I'm gonna figure this out. And it got to the point I was like, you know what? I'm gonna work 3 times as hard. I'm going to figure this out. Talk about fear of rejection. It's like I'm not getting rejected again. Like I cannot go through that experience again, right? And then it just got to the point, and this is what will happen with your so-called running twin flame. You get to the point where you're just like, I'm not winning. I give up. I'm not winning. Because there is a path. Many of you like to believe this free will. By the way, the universe says don't give your twin flame free will. Some of you are giving free will out there. You're saying they're choosing this, they're doing all of this. They have a you get to create your reality, co-create with the universe. Okay. And I cut myself off and I'm just like, okay. you know, there is a path. There's a path. And I share that because we tend to look at the 3D and believe that's what it is. We look at relationship, we're like, I want this person in my life so much, which I get. I truly understand. But this person is a part of your life, is a part of your path, is a part of you. And whenever there's this, I need them, where are they? They need to be here. It means that you don't believe that they're here because your twin is there with you. And when you believe it, so do they. Okay. If you don't believe, bus went by, if you don't believe that you're already in union, they can't either. They are your subconscious mind. So you're saying DM does not have free will? Yes. Okay, they don't. And sorry, DMs out there. Sorry, DMs out there. You know, I'm sorry to say it upsets some DMs. They're just like, I want to do my own thing, but I feel like this person keeps affecting me. And they get kind of upset about it and that kind of stuff. Well, how does that come together? Speak up. DMs out there, okay? Speak up. If you have this realization, be like, hey, listen, your energy is affecting me, if you are aware, okay? So a lot of DMs in this connection do not have free will. You heard it from me. They do not. They are, they show you your subconscious thought and your energy. And so if you were to explain, if you're in a connection where the two of you are like, okay, we're twin flames, we get it, you can communicate about these things. There are some connections like that. If you mention this to your twin and they're like, I don't know, this is crazy, forget it. Don't tell them. Just know. Just know. And then when you see your twin is showing up and doing these things that you like, kind of like give yourself a pat on your shoulder. Don't use it as a report card though. But you're like, I did that. I did that. Okay. Your DM doesn't really have free will. They just go according to your thoughts and your energy. and your thoughts and your energy say go away, even though they're like, I want to be here, but I don't know how to do it because something keeps me away. Okay. This fear of rejection, this intense fear of rejection makes me terrified. I don't know why I have that fear. I don't know what I'm afraid of. It got to the point one day I was like, 𝐿𝐿, why are you running? It just literally made no sense. I was like, which I was pushed. Okay. You hear that I was running. I don't quite share the other side of the story. I leave that up to him. But you get the idea of what a push energy does and where it came from, right? And so it just really got to the point where I said, this is really ridiculous. Okay. The universe, God says, you found the one. This is the one for you. Why are you running? Like, if you think about it, it's mind boggling, right? Maybe this is even you on this journey where God says, that's the one for you. And you're like, I don't think so. Make them go away. But yet you're praying to find the one. It just took me, honestly, it took other things in my life to come together for me to be like, God's not trying to hurt anyone. Wasn't trying to hurt me, wasn't trying to hurt my twin, was is not trying to hurt you or your twin on your journey. Our ego gets in the way. God's guiding your twin, and the ego says, I don't know how to trust my inner guidance. I'm terrified of that. All I remember was the past, and I don't want the past repeating, right? I get it. I didn't want the past repeating either. And then as reunion occurs, stuff you felt like you already let go of begins to come out of you again because they were not healed. And you're like, oh my goodness, the past is repeating itself. I truly felt that way. All the old energies were coming up. And I didn't know what was happening at that time. And I was just like, this is too much and stuff like that. Now well, obviously I know. And I teach you guys because I had the wonderful opportunity of learning it, after the fact, because that's how the universe works. I'm not going to be angry at them today. Not tonight. It's like you go through these experiences and later you're shown and you're like, oh man, is that what it was? Couldn't you tell me that before? Of course not. Of course not. Right? And so that's my little stuff for you guys up there or around us. And so that's definitely one. I feel like I covered a lot of them. They're dreams they're mentioning, having nightmares, if your twin looks like they're choosing the other person, I can almost, I'm not going to quite guarantee you, the universe is telling them some things about that connection, whether it's in a dream or they're just hearing it. Or for me, Messenger, out of the blue, a message popped up that says, do you want to block this person? Like, if you're a messenger, do you ever get a message that just tells you, normally you go in and you choose to block this person? No, a message came up and was like, do you want to block this person? And I was just like, if that's not a sign. But of course I couldn't believe myself around that time. So dreams, having nightmares about the other person, just feeling like something's off. There's always a feeling of something's off, because when it's not the right connection, something's just not going to fit. And then for the other person, same thing. They know. They know. Society doesn't teach us what to do when we find the one. So then when many of us find the one, we treat it like it's a soulmate connection, right? But society teaches to stay where you are, to stay loyal, stay committed, to be there, right? It's whether it's in some sort of religious teaching or family said so. You need to be in a relationship, you need to choose someone, you need to do the right thing. And so then when we're with people we know are not for us, whatever belief about that comes into play. It's like, well, I'm going to be this loyal person. I'm going to be, even though both of you, not just one, know that that is not it. That's not the connection. And you're struggling and you're trying to make it work and make it fit somehow. And it, perhaps this was you back then as well, where you just knew. You're like, but something in you couldn't really let it go, and things like those. So a lot of times the other person is aware too. You have, as long as you have intuition, both of you, then, and we're not going to give the other one much attention. Just don't do it. Okay, I recommend don't give that connection attention. But usually both people know that this is not it, and eventually come to that conclusion, like, I gotta let this go. Eventually it happens. All right. When you let go of any stories like they're with the other one, they chose them, like, you clear the energy so they can hear themselves louder, okay, in a clearer way. So my DM always says his mind stops working when it comes to me. Yeah, that can be a scary thing too. Okay, to someone who's used to being in control of their mind, and they're used to just looking like they have it all together, and then in comes their twin flame who just dismantles all of that, and they're like, why? Like, it gets to be scary. I'll share with you one of the reasons. The fear of rejection is super intense, and eventually it came down to, this is just my story, where I was like, I'm gonna have to go into this. I'm gonna have to do this whether the fear is there or not, no matter what it looks like in the physical. Because my soul, like, I had enough running with the universe that I just knew. I was just like, you know what, I cannot anymore. Okay, and I'm just gonna have to go all in, fear or not, which could be you as well, where you're like, you know what, I'm going to get a hold of this fear, this energy, and keep moving forward, because your soul is not going to give up and the universe isn't going to give up either. All right. And this is where many people, they reach the point, they say, I got to figure this out. And I recommend it for you as well, to figure it out, but for yourself. So you're finding peace on his journey, and you're allowing the universe to take care of everything else for you. Okay, so that is my message there. I appreciate you guys listening. I hope it was helpful. I share it with you because I really want you to know that you're not alone. The universe works really hard when it comes to this connection with bringing your soul together, for bringing together what's already created for you, that path that you and your twin flame, because it's you, share together. Okay. All right. And can a DM watch these lives, etc., can and be stubborn to the connection by hearing the reality of this information? It all depends, I want to say. Um, the reason I don't believe, this is just me. Maybe I'll make some DMs out there upset and stuff like that. It's okay. It's okay. When you discover the one, it doesn't go away. No matter how stubborn you want to be about it today, no matter how much it irritates, like, this person controls me or something like that, which possibly DMs can, if they're aware, perhaps do some energy clearing, minding their thoughts and all, do the same thing. If they are aware, maybe. But this connection transcends anything of the ego. So it doesn't it really doesn't matter. And I'm sorry if I'm breaking some of your DMs heart. And honestly, I feel like some DMs are out here getting some twin flame information, trying to figure out what is this. But we don't hear enough from you. So if anyone is out there want to speak up on their experiences with this, please do. We don't hear enough from the DMs. And I truly believe there are lots of DMs out there trying to figure this stuff out too, because it's a connection that takes two people, that blindsides both people, because it was unexpected. Neither of you expected to enter this kind of connection and journey, and so on. So yeah, they absolutely can be stubborn about it, and upset about it too. But once again, this connection transcends anything of the ego mind. Okay. And actually, I want to say this. Okay. your I feel like your DM will be thankful for it. Would be well, a lot of DMs are thankful. I get to experience this in healing sessions where the DM's higher self comes in and will say thank you. Thank you for this work that you're doing. Thank you for the healing. Because it is a cold world out there for the DMs. Okay. It's a cold world. Lots of people have turned their backs on them. Lots of people disappointed them. Running away from themselves feels awful. Feeling like they're alone. They have no one else to turn to. Hearing the guidance, the intuitive guidance, the universe is talking and they don't know how to hear their inner guidance because of what the DF manifests and things like that. So they're in a frustrating place where they can only be where they're at. And it's not a good place to be. They're stuck in karmic connections because the DF is manifesting that. And so they have to wake up day after day after day to this awful karmic connection relationship, if it's awful, and struggle to end the connection and all of this kind of stuff. So a lot of times they're just absolutely grateful. Like, thank you for figuring this out so that I have a purpose. Well, not me, I have a purpose, but other DMs out there. So I have a purpose and I can be aligned and I can do what my intuition tells me, because the DMs do get guided differently in this connection, right? DMs are more connected with Earth. DFs are more connected with the universe, with intuition, and so on. And so the guidance that a DM would receive is more of like the direction for the connection, where to take it, what to do, um, uh, what else, how to lead and guide, and to be a leader in the connection, things like those. They receive the guidance for it, whereas the DF is feelings, feelings, emotions, all of this kind of stuff. But the DM can't do those things. Okay, can't do those things. And I met a divine masculine who was in the same gender, connection, and cried about it, because of that direction, the inner guidance that the universe is saying, and feeling disconnected from it and not knowing how to go about it. So to answer that question, even if they are, maybe perhaps there's that small group of folks that would, but a lot of DMs are grateful for the healing that happens so they can be on their path and live a life, a purposeful life, a life full of purpose. Okay. All right. When I felt that weird energy stuff from my DF at the beginning, as bad as I wanted to talk to her, I couldn't. I just wanted to get away from her. Yeah. That's what it is. That's what it is. I told her I always wanted to talk. I always want to talk to her, but I always felt intimidated, a lot of fear, not good enough, and just plain confusion about the energy stuff. There you go. Thank you so much for speaking up, That energy. I'm telling you that fear-based energy is very strong and can feel very scary, confusing. Absolutely. Hey everyone. Hi, Antoniqua. And me and my DF never dated because I was still connected with my ex, and I didn't want to look like a cheater, so I never made a move. I didn't want to bring her into my issues at the time. Thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing that. I had said your twin's not rejecting you. Here's an example. Okay, because an ex was still in the picture and you wanted to be a good person and not bring your twin into the drama and that kind of stuff. In a lot of cases like this, the DF would say, oh, I'm not chosen, I'm being rejected, and all this kind of stuff. No, you're not. You're not. And oh, it was divine timing to catch you live. I am coming off though, but I'm glad that you made it for the little bit that I was here. Again, thank you so much, High Vibe Freak, for sharing that, for sharing your experience of being on the other side of that energy. It's really strong, and it's like I describe it as like it's not quite a bullhorn, like a bullhorn, but more like pressure. I would say some sort of pressure that just makes it's intense pressure that you have a hard time going into. So I am so glad you opened up and shared that experience. Okay, and many blessings to all of you. Lots of healing and so on. Again, thank you. I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.